To truly understand China, a nation of immense historical weight and contemporary significance, you must first grasp its immense scale and breathtaking diversity. We're talking about a landmass that stretches across multiple time zones, encompassing climates and ecosystems that range from subarctic to tropical. It's a country where the sheer size influences everything from its internal politics to its global ambitions. Consider the north, with its seemingly endless windswept steppes of Inner Mongolia, all the way down to the balmy tropical shores of Hainan, where palm trees sway in the warm sea breeze. These are two vastly different worlds contained within a single nation. China's geography isn't just varied, it's a dramatic tapestry woven with towering mountains, fertile plains, and sprawling deserts. The north, characterized by its cold, harsh winters and vast wheat fields that stretch as far as the eye can see, contrasts sharply and beautifully with the lush, verdant south, where rice terraces cascade down hillsides, creating a landscape of vibrant green. Cities like Beijing, with its imperial palaces, and Xi'an, home to the Terracotta Army, reflect the grandeur and enduring legacy of ancient power, while Guangzhou and Shanghai, bustling hubs of trade and innovation, pulse with a palpable mercantile energy, driving China's economic engine. The eastern seaboard, a glittering showcase of modern China, dazzles with its sprawling megacities and undeniable economic might, a testament to the country's rapid development. Yet, venture inland, and the vast interior reveals a different story, one where life remains largely rural and often surprisingly remote, clinging to traditions passed down through generations. This stark urban-rural divide, a chasm between the gleaming skyscrapers and the tranquil rice paddies, is one of China's defining features, a constant tension in its modern identity. This divide is also the primary force fueling the largest human migration in history, as people seek opportunity and a better life in the booming urban centers. Millions upon millions leave their ancestral farming villages, drawn by the promise of city life and the allure of economic advancement. This mass movement is creating a society fundamentally split between the breakneck pace of high-speed modernity and the slower, more deliberate rhythms of traditional rural life. Bridging this ever-widening gap, connecting the rural heartland to the urban powerhouse, is not just an economic imperative but a central challenge that will define China's future. The very character of the nation, its strengths and its vulnerabilities, is indelibly etched into its majestic mountains, its life-giving rivers, and its fertile plains. This landscape, in turn, profoundly shapes its people, their values, their traditions, and ultimately, their collective destiny. China's geography is far more than just a scenic backdrop. It's not merely a pretty picture on a postcard, it's the very stage upon which its epic, ongoing story unfolds, a story of ambition, resilience, and transformation. China's mountains are more than just geographical features. They are the very backbone of the nation. These majestic formations have profoundly influenced the country's development, acting as both barriers and protectors, shaping the flow of rivers, the distribution of populations, and even the course of history itself. They have shaped history, culture, and identity, fostering unique traditions and lifestyles in the remote corners of the country. The mountains stand as silent witnesses to centuries of human endeavor, their slopes dotted with ancient villages and terraced fields that speak to the ingenuity and resilience of the Chinese people. The Himalayas in the southwest form a towering barrier, an almost impenetrable wall of rock and ice that separates China from the Indian subcontinent. These formidable peaks have historically limited interaction and exchange, contributing to the distinct cultural identities of the regions on either side. While the Tibetan Plateau, often referred to as the roof of the world, stretches out in a vast expanse of high-altitude terrain. This plateau is not only geographically significant, but also holds immense cultural and spiritual importance for the Tibetan people. It is a place of stark beauty and spiritual significance, home to ancient monasteries, and a unique way of life adapted to the harsh environment. The plateau's thin air and challenging conditions have fostered a deep connection between the people and the land. Eastward, ranges like the Kunlun extend for thousands of kilometers, a rugged and imposing chain of mountains that has historically served as a natural boundary and a source of valuable minerals. And the Qinling Mountains, a vital east-west range, divide climates and cultures, creating distinct agricultural zones and shaping regional identities. This division has had a profound impact on the culinary traditions, architectural styles, and social customs of the people living on either side of the range. They are separating the wheat-growing north, with its vast plains and temperate climate, from the rice-growing south, characterized by its lush landscapes and humid subtropical conditions. Sacred peaks such as Mount Tai, one of the 5 great mountains of China, have inspired pilgrims and poets for centuries, serving as a focal point for religious devotion and artistic expression. These mountains are not merely physical landmarks, they are imbued with cultural and spiritual significance, attracting visitors from all over the world. The rugged terrain fostered regional identities, creating pockets of unique cultures and traditions that have persisted for generations. This made travel difficult, limiting interaction between different regions, and contributing to the preservation of local customs and dialects. But it also protected China from invasion, providing natural barriers that have historically deterred potential aggressors. The mountains have served as a strategic advantage, offering defensive positions and hindering the movement of enemy forces. Today, these mountains offer resources including valuable minerals and timber and tourism opportunities, attracting visitors with their stunning scenery and opportunities for outdoor recreation. However, these areas are ecologically fragile, supporting unique ecosystems and endangered species that are vulnerable to human activity. They are threatened by climate change, which is causing glaciers to melt, permafrost to thaw, and ecosystems to shift. Building infrastructure here, such as roads and railways, has always been a monumental challenge, requiring innovative engineering solutions and careful planning to minimize environmental impact. Balancing development with preservation, ensuring that economic progress does not come at the expense of environmental degradation, is a critical task for modern China, requiring a comprehensive and sustainable approach to mountain management. The mountains remain both a shield, protecting the country from external threats and providing a sense of security, and a test for the nation's future, demanding careful stewardship and a commitment to sustainable development in the face of growing environmental pressures. The way China manages its mountains will undoubtedly shape its future and impact the world. China's rivers are its lifeblood, shaping civilization and commerce. The Yellow River, cradle of Chinese civilization, has nurtured dynasties and caused devastating floods. The Yangtze, Asia's longest river, is China's rice bowl and industrial heartland, vital for transport and power. In contrast, the Taklamakan and Gobi deserts in the northwest are vast, forbidding, and historically traversed by Silk Road traders. These deserts shaped China's strategic thinking and inspired the building of the Great Wall. Today, they are key to China's Belt and Road Initiative, but face severe environmental threats like desertification. Rivers and deserts alike continue to define China's challenges and ambitions. China's history is a saga of dynasties rising and falling over millennia. From the ancient Xia, Shang and Zhou to the unifying Qin and enduring Han, each dynasty left its mark. The Tang and Song dynasties brought golden ages of culture and innovation, while the Ming and Qing expanded and fortified the empire. By the 19th century, the imperial system struggled against foreign powers and internal turmoil, setting the stage for revolution. China's dynastic legacy still echoes in its culture and institutions today. The mandate of heaven justified the rule of emperors, but demanded just governance. Confucianism, emphasizing order, hierarchy, and filial piety, became the backbone of Chinese society and government. Scholar officials, selected through rigorous exams, administered the empire, creating unity across dynasties. Taoism offered a contrasting philosophy of harmony with nature, while legalism advocated strict laws and control. These ideas, along with Buddhism, shaped China's intellectual landscape. The Confucian model of meritocracy and social order endured for centuries. Competing philosophies provided balance and debate within Chinese society. This rich tradition continues to influence China's governance and worldview. The 19th century brought crisis as China faced foreign aggression and internal upheaval. Defeat in the Opium Wars and unequal treaties marked the start of the century of humiliation. Massive rebellions and failed reforms weakened the Qing dynasty. Revolutionary ideas spread, led by Sun Yat-sen, who envisioned a modern republic. The 1911 revolution ended imperial rule, but the new Republic of China was unstable and fragmented. Warlords, nationalists, and communists vied for control. Japanese invasion in 1937 forced a temporary alliance, but civil war soon resumed. China's path to unity and modernity was long and turbulent. In 1949, a pivotal year in modern history, Mao Zedong stood before a jubilant crowd in Tiananmen Square. He declared the establishment of the People's Republic of China, a moment that signified the end of decades of conflict and the beginning of a new era under communist rule. This declaration marked a dramatic shift in the global political landscape. This momentous occasion came after a brutal civil war, a protracted and devastating conflict that pitted the communist forces against the nationalists. The war left China scarred and divided, its people yearning for stability and unity. The communist victory reshaped the nation's destiny. Following their triumph, the Communist Party swiftly established a centralized one-party system. This system concentrated power within the party's ranks, fundamentally altering China's political structure and setting the stage for decades of communist governance. The Communist Party exerted comprehensive control over all aspects of society, including the government, the military, and the media. This tight grip ensured the party's dominance and its ability to implement its policies without opposition, shaping public opinion through state-controlled narratives. At the apex of this system stands the General Secretary, who also holds the titles of President and Military Chief. This concentration of power in a single individual underscores the hierarchical nature of Chinese politics. The General Secretary holds immense power, wielding significant influence over policy decisions and the direction of the nation. Their authority is virtually unparalleled within the Chinese political landscape. The General Secretary is supported by the Politburo Standing Committee, a select group of top-ranking officials who play a crucial role in shaping policy and guiding the nation's course. This committee serves as the core decision-making body within the Communist Party. The National People's Congress, while nominally the highest organ of state power, primarily ratifies decisions made by the party leadership. This ensures a unity of policy and action across all levels of government, reinforcing the party's control and its ability to implement its agenda effectively. China's unique political model, characterized by its centralized control and one-party rule, contrasts sharply with the principles and practices of Western democracies, which emphasize multi-party systems and individual liberties. To maintain stability and control, the government maintains strict control over the flow of information and actively suppresses dissent, employing various methods of censorship and surveillance to monitor and manage public opinion. On the international stage, China increasingly asserts its influence through ambitious economic initiatives, such as the Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to expand trade and infrastructure across Asia, Africa, and Europe. China also leverages its permanent seat on the UN Security Council to shape global policy and advance its interests within the international community. China's relations with the United States and other major powers are complex and multifaceted, characterized by a mix of cooperation and competition. These relationships are marked by both opportunities for collaboration on shared challenges and areas of rivalry stemming from differing geopolitical interests and economic competition. Despite its economic progress and global influence, China's political system faces ongoing challenges, both domestically and internationally. These challenges range from managing internal social and economic disparities to navigating complex geopolitical dynamics on the world stage. After Mao, China shifted toward market reforms under Deng Xiaoping. Special economic zones like Shenzhen sparked rapid growth, attracting investment and technology. Hundreds of millions rose from poverty as China became the world's second-largest economy and a global manufacturing hub. Urbanization and technological advances transformed cities and lifestyles. Companies like Alibaba and Huawei now compete globally in tech and innovation. This boom brought environmental damage and growing inequality between regions. The government now invests in renewable energy and faces demographic challenges from an aging population. Social tensions persist between wealthy cities and rural areas. China's economic miracle is remarkable, but its future growth must address these pressing issues. China's history shapes its present ambitions and global role. A strong unified state and Confucian values of order and harmony remain central. National pride, fueled by memories of past humiliation, drives China's quest for global influence. Issues like Hong Kong and Taiwan reflect a deep commitment to unity and sovereignty. China's actions on climate, health, and trade impact the entire world. Understanding China requires appreciating its complex history and culture. As a global power, China's story is inseparable from the future of our world.